Thank you. What a great pleasure to be here. My name is Nilesh Mehta. I'm the Global Head of Ophthalmology at Roche. It's my privilege to look after the ophthalmology portfolio from the earliest stages to the late stage products. And I've been at Roche since 2014. Yes, I've been really excited to work with the Innolab team to close a challenge which is really important for people living with eyesight. One of the biggest challenges we have in ophthalmology, in retinal conditions especially, is the frequency of intravitreal injections that are needed to sustain eye health and to control the disease. What we realized is that almost 80% of patients drop off therapy after 2 or 3 years because they just find the burden too much. Their families find it difficult to arrange the logistics. And so this year, the question we posed to the InCube challenge is, how could we in a future state look at that being improved so that we could have more patients maintaining their therapies for longer and therefore their visual outcomes? And that's what I'm really excited to pose, and that's been our role in setting up this challenge with the Innolab team. You know, since the advent of anti-VEGF therapies, patients with retinal conditions like age-related macular degeneration or diabetic macular edema have really had tremendous outcomes from repeated injections into their eye. Prior to the advent of such therapies, people would normally be legally blind in 18 months to 2 years. As we go forward, we realize there are 2 unmet needs. One is that anti-VEGFs don't solve all the conditions of these diseases, which are multifactorial, and therefore new science needs to emerge into this space to get better outcomes for more patients. But the other challenge we face is really in clinical practice. As we go from clinical trials where people are followed up robustly and have their schedule of injections really well adhered to, they get great outcomes. In the real world, both societies, patients and physicians can't adhere to those schedules, and that's where we see the greatest loss of visual outcomes for patients. And what we're striving to do in Roche is therefore also look at addressing this part of durability of these products and see if more patients can have less injections but maintain their visual outcomes. That's a superb question, and if anybody had the answer, that would be the million-dollar question. What I would say is I think that the frontiers of digital health keep expanding at an exponential rate, and I think that as we look at keeping pace with that, there must be many opportunities for digital solutions integrated into care systems, being able to support patients as they live with their chronic eye conditions over time. We don't know what they are, but we're really committed to staying at the forefront of those solutions and seeing the part we can play in bringing them to bear in patient pathways, as well as for physicians to treat their patients in the future. You know, I like to think that we do a tremendous amount of innovation at Roche in the eye care space with discovery of new molecules, with different pathways and applying the science. But we know we can't cover everything. And I think taking an external perspective with some of the brightest young people who can teach us a thing or two about how things could be without having the legacy of how things have been will be really exciting. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the creativity being brought by the students as well as the different companies focusing in on a real key problem in the ophthalmology space, in the retina space. And I think that's the greatest asset, is this external, non-conforming view of how things could be rather than how they have been. Yeah, Innolab, I think, is infusing a creative, maybe an even entrepreneurial mindset into a corporate culture. And I think some of those ideas, whilst corporations have many resources, sometimes a spark of ideas come when we bring different angles and different thought patterns to a problem. And I think that's where Innolab intersects between corporate culture and new idea creation as well. So with all that, I wish you all tremendous luck, and I really hope you have a fantastic experience of being in the Cube. And I'm really excited to partner with you and see the ideas that are coming forth from that, and very much wish you a wonderful stay in Basel.